and ask that you guide our hearts and our minds as we assemble for you, our God and our country. Amen. God bless America, and God bless our veterans.
The legacy that these two gentlemen left in the community, and it continues on to this day. And I always say to everyone, someone might be gone, but they're not forgotten. The pain doesn't get easier over time. People just stop talking about them. But what's so important is not to forget about their memory, their legacy. I've said this before, the good, the bad, the ugly. To always talk about them and the impact they had, not just on the family nucleus, but on the community. And that is what we have here today. So I do want to talk about Frank and Joseph. So thank you for sharing this time with us to talk about them. And I wish I could stay here and say more, because there's a lot more I could say about Frank and his legacy and the legacy he left for this community. So thank you for sharing them with us. So, but Frank's younger brother, Joseph, also served in the United States Army. Joseph served in the 9952 Technical Unit at the Army Medical Center in Fort Lewis, Washington, which he took care. He served there from September of 1956 to 1958. He was the medical specialist that played a critical role in treating soldiers who served in the Korean War at that point in time. He received the Army Good Conduct Medal. He returned home. He was owned a restaurant. How was the food? No? All right, we'll just tack it. I just want to make sure the heads are going. All right. So, he was the owner and operator of a restaurant, and he especially enjoyed catering to the youth of Green Island at local hangouts, the Corner Circle Sweatshop. In his free time, he enjoyed boating, camping, watching horse racing, and you sit there and look at two extraordinary brothers that have given back so much to the community in different ways, and that's what I love. And so one thing you always see with veterans, and I say this all the time, they lead with their actions. They don't say much, and they come back in the community and they see a problem, they take care of it. Or they come to certain politicians, they're like, yeah, they're not listening, I'm just going to fix it myself and do it anyway. And their service, honor, memory, and legacy will live on with everyone here today. And I want to remind everyone, always share the good stories, the bad stories, the funny stories, to keep their memory alive, but also the impact they have on a community. And thank you for sharing your father with us, your grandfather with us, his legacy, and to the family that's so embedded in Green Island for everything that you do in this community. Now you know where you all get it from, so I do want to say thank you for sharing them with us.
So this morning, it's a cherished opportunity to say thank you to these two gentlemen in recognition of their service, their commitment, their patriotism. I ask that flags be flown over our nation's capital in honor of their service to the country. And I'll present that to the family now. Again, flown in memory of both Frank and Joseph. And I'll give that to the family, whomever wants to receive it. Nancy, your sister's pointing at you, so I'll take the family assignment then. But my prayer, my hope is that they rest eternally in peace with their Creator, and always serve as an example of a life well lived, life well served, and that included commitment to the ideals of this nation. May they rest in peace.
And I think it's fitting that we are here today after Thanksgiving. I hope many of you, all of you, had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And for so many families out there, there are those who are away in their service, serving our country, not able to join with their families during this time. And at some point, both Frank and Joe were among those. They sacrificed their time with their families to serve our great nation and set that standard for future generations. And it's evident that it had an impact, because as Frank served in World War II, so did Joe in Korea. And I'm sure that there's many other traditions that were set in terms of service, not only in the military, but also in the community through their efforts. that echo still through today with your family. So it's a real privilege to join with you today. I do have proclamations from the New York State Senate on behalf of myself and Senator Fahey, who was unable to join us today. But thank you for allowing us to honor both of them today.
It's so great to see so many young individuals here. And to me, that's a thank you to the family, because these individuals, at one point in their life, served our country with great valor. They came back, started a new life. And let's think about it in this day and age. To do that is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. And they've left their mark with their family and on their community. Green Island, of course, as Ellen knows and Michael knows and everybody else knows, is a very, very small, tight-knit community. It's actually what I think is one of its greatest strengths, is that everybody works together, comes together, knows each other. Now, arguably, we have one being a restaurant operator, one being an assessor. They're both very popular, maybe for different reasons, right? Either the food was good or the assessment was good. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But the reality is this: today we gather together to honor their memory, to thank them for their service to our country, but also what the memory they've left with their family, which continues today. And on behalf of myself, Scott Bendett, and Gabrielle Romero from the New York State Assembly, we too have a citation recognizing these two great individuals. Thank you.
To be able to join this community and to lift up the service of those who maybe they too didn't speak about it in their lifetimes. But for us to have the opportunity to talk about them, to talk about what it means for us and for our freedom, to do that with cadets from the JROTC who are seeing the honor in service, who are seeing before them examples of people who sacrificed and who understood that freedom isn't free, as we say, and that all of us are called to some sort of service if we want to have a healthy civil society, if we want to live in places that we love. We all are called to some sort of service.
And I can just speak very quickly to the stories I have of Frank Lazzaro actually trained me as the assessor. I'm still standing the assessor of Green Island, but his wisdom led me to a very prominent career in assessing, which not many people can say. But I do thank him for that. And I was one of those teens that got to hang out in the local establishment at the restaurant run by Joe Lazzaro. So we have very fond memories, mostly with a lot of Frank's grandchildren who are my generation that get to relive and live through those times with what they gave and contributed to this community that we still remember today. So to the McNulty, Bosco, Lazzaro family, thank you for letting us do this today, and I'm very grateful that I was able to be a part of it, so thank you.
So on behalf of Colonel Schultz and the men and women of the Watervliet Arsenal, I'd like to present a small token of our appreciation to the families of Joseph and Frank. Thank you.
And people like Frank and Joe Lazzaro, who left their homes and families, went to far-off places, were willing to put their lives on the line for us, but thankfully came back home and rendered outstanding service in the community. These are the things and these are the people for whom we should be most grateful. And I will just conclude today by saying Frank Lazzaro and Joe Lazzaro are two of the reasons why, when I get up in the morning, the first two things I do are to thank God for my life and veterans for my way of life.